Welcome back to AWS On Air, live at reInvent here in Las Vegas for 2022. My name is Chad Lacy. I'm a global solution sales strategist. Wow, I almost changed my job there for a second, Jeff.
Is that all? It's just that simple, right?
It's just that simple. We just changed jobs that quickly. I'm joined with my good friend Jeff as my co-host. Jeff?
Yeah, hey everyone. We are live here in Las Vegas, Nevada, reInvent 2022. My name is Jeff Mershak. I'm a senior solutions architect on our DoD Air Force team. And we're here to talk this segment a little bit about Redshift and all the new features. So let's go down and talk to our guest, Eugene. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. So my name is Eugene Kawamoto. I'm the Director of Product Management for Amazon Redshift. Been with AWS for about 10 years.
Wow.
Always been covering database and analytics services, and really excited about database technology. So thank you for inviting us, and we'll talk a lot more about Redshift today.
Yeah, great. Appreciate you being here, Eugene.
And Naresh?
Hi, my name is Naresh Chainani. I'm an engineering director at Amazon Redshift. I've been here for 6 years, and this is my 5th reInvent.
Wow.
Super excited to be here, meeting some amazing people, talk about some cool stuff. Looking forward to this chat.
So this is your 6th reInvent?
5th.
Fifth. Okay, so how bad do your feet hurt today?
Say again?
Your feet, how do they hurt today? In the morning, or they're not until in the evening?
So year 1, year 2, bad, but I learned my lesson to get very nice, comfortable walking shoes. That's a tip that has helped me well. So I'm okay so far.
So let's set the stage. Redshift is talked about a lot. There's some new things we want to talk about, but let's set the stage for all of our viewers. Let's talk what is Redshift and start there.
Yeah, I can start out. So Redshift's a petabyte scale cloud data warehouse. We have tens of thousands of customers that are using Redshift today, anywhere from fast-growing startups to large enterprises. And they're processing exabytes of data on a daily basis. So use cases really vary. Anything from basic BI reporting, analytics type of requirements. More recently, we see requests around real-time analytics to get faster insights, and we also see customers leveraging machine learning to do things like predictive analytics. So, over the past few years, we had a lot of customers like, in life sciences and healthcare, especially with customers like Pfizer, Moderna, J&J, that are actually leveraging Redshift to help their drug research and fight against COVID. And we also see a lot of customers going through digital transformation. And this is really about modernizing their data warehouse stack, and also leveraging Redshift to migrate from on-prem data warehouses over to Redshift. So really excited that we've seen a lot of customers using Redshift today. And actually, just one trivia. So this is actually the 10th year anniversary of Redshift. So we originally launched it in 2012 during the first reInvent. That was when Andy was on stage on keynote announcing it. So I'm really happy about where we are today.
Yeah, and you guys had a kind of a big day during Swami's keynote today too. Like, Redshift is making a huge impact. Like you said, you've got tens of thousands of customers that are using it. But Naresh, I want to kind of pull you in. Eugene talked about, he named a few customers. Can you talk a little more about the use case, like how customers are using Redshift to transform their businesses?
Absolutely. It's all about the ability to analyze all your data.
Yeah.
And so one thing we see with talking to multiple customers, you have data in transactional databases, you have data in streaming systems, and Redshift gives you the ability to query all of your data with a very simple, easy to use experience, so that within minutes you can start getting those insights, start making those powerful decisions that are going to help your business.
Yeah, we're talking about some new features announced recently, today, this week. But one of the most important features launched not so long ago was Redshift Serverless. Now, in my previous role, I actually had a conversation where I was saying, hey, we should use Redshift, and some of the architects were like, it's not serverless, we don't want to worry about that. But now that's not the case. Can you talk a little bit more about serverless?
Yeah, absolutely. So Redshift Serverless was announced at reInvent last year as a preview, and we actually went GA this year in July. So it's 5-month-old service, so relatively new. But we actually have thousands of customers that are already using serverless today. So really excited about it. And really kind of the theme around serverless is that originally, over the past few years, we've been hearing a lot from customers about making data warehousing easy to use. So a lot of the customers are doing analytics in line of businesses. So these are like sales department, marketing departments, and not everybody has the expertise of using a data warehouse. So as part of that, the request that we heard is that they want just a simple endpoint they can connect to and start doing analytics. So that's where we launched Redshift Serverless as a feature that can enable you to not just run steady state workloads, but also unpredictable workloads where we manage the infrastructure needs on behalf of it.
So just follow up on that. You still have Redshift, right, as the service. Now we've got Redshift Serverless. What are some of the quickly just key criteria that maybe a customer may work through when they're deciding if they're going to go Redshift or Redshift Serverless? Because both of them are great products, but
yeah, I would say what we see right now in common architectural patterns is customers using Redshift in kind of a data sharing type of architecture. Yeah. So instead of going through like a monolithic cluster where everything's in the same warehouse, we see customers kind of spreading out their workloads into multiple clusters. This enables them to have workload isolation, chargeback capabilities, and also making it a lot more easier to run their queries. So the blast radius is a lot lower in case something happens. So as part of that type of environment, especially when you have ad hoc queries, data scientists using Redshift, those are really great use cases for using Redshift Serverless. But really, it works really well for various different use cases I explained, both for steady state and unpredictable workloads. But we still have provisioned clusters, and if you're using your cluster 24/7, use provisioned, and you can also buy RIs to get additional discounts on behalf of that.
All right, so we've set the stage. We now kind of have a nice picture of what Redshift is, how it's evolved over the years. So now let's talk about the new and exciting things that was recently announced.
Yeah, so one thing that we have during reInvent is that customers have multiple data sources. So these are things like operational databases, data lakes, streaming data sources, and the problem about that, they're all in different silos, and bringing that data into a data warehouse to do analytics is very painful. So it requires you to do and build multiple data pipelines, do ETL jobs and whatnot. So as part of that, we launched multiple new features at reInvent, yesterday and today. So one feature is Amazon Aura Zero ETL to Amazon Redshift. So this is an integration where we see a common architecture pattern where customers are using operational databases for Aura, and then Redshift as their data warehouse, where we can actually do near real-time replication between Aura databases into Redshift on a petabyte scale.
Wow.
Another actually common application we see is streaming data, streaming applications. So if you're using things like say Apache Kafka or Kinesis data streams, this is typical with gaming applications where customers are trying to do near real-time analytics, and the time it takes to start querying the data matters a lot. So for that, we actually made a GA announcement, a general availability of Redshift streaming ingestion, where within seconds you're able to query your streaming data. We were talking to a customer, Adobe, and as part of the Adobe Experience platform, they are ingesting and analyzing the streaming data and customizing the experience for their users. This is changing the way they do customer support and CRM applications using this feature. So it's super exciting.
Yeah, and man, I think one of the big things that you're pushing there also is, like you said, Redshift has been around for a long time, but you're continuing to innovate and make it easier for people to do the queries, to ingest the data, to stream from different sources. You're integrating with a lot of the other AWS services, so it's an end-to-end solution, not just a point service, correct? Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's like no enterprise uses just one service. It's usually a cluster of services,
right.
And the better they are able to interoperate, it makes life easier for our customers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So Is there a demo? Did we get hooked up? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually going to walk you through a serverless demo, and Naresh will walk you through it.
So just as this is a live show and we had some connectivity issues, so the live demo is not going to happen, but I'm going to talk through Redshift serverless, the experience of getting started.
That's
if that's
fine,
it.
yeah.
All right. So, so real quick, the way you get started with Redshift serverless. So you go log into your AWS console, click on try Redshift serverless. Within a couple of minutes, you will land on a serverless dashboard screen. This is your landing spot for all things serverless. Here you can see what queries are running, what your costs are, because a lot of our customers want to make sure costs are within control. So you can monitor query usage, cost utilization. We introduced this concept of RPUs, which stands for Redshift Processing Unit. It's a measure of compute capacity for serverless. The best part of this is, as your workload starts scaling, Redshift serverless automatically is scaling the compute. And an hour later, if your workload stops, you stop paying for any compute. So the compute completely spins down and at no further cost to you. As part of the query experience, so we talk a lot about simplifying. We wanted to simplify the user experience. So what we introduced is Query Editor. This is part of the Redshift serverless experience, where you are able to use query results. You can visualize query results at a click of a button. And it's a shame we can't show you that demo, but hopefully we'll record it and post it later on. We also have the notebook experience. So as application development becomes more and more complicated, you have many queries. It makes sense to break it up into modules and start versioning and start updating them. So please give it a try. There is a $300 credit, free credit for Redshift serverless. So it's as simple as clicking a couple of buttons, getting started, start querying.
Awesome.
I did want to add one point. So since
please.
we couldn't do the demo today, I did want to add that Naresh is going to be doing a breakout session
tell us about that.
today evening. So at 5:30 p.m., ANT 317, he's going to do self-service analytics with Amazon Redshift serverless. So come to that session, you'll be able to actually see directly on how this works.
Perfect.
And actually ask some questions to Naresh directly.
Do you know offhand where that is in the campus? Is it here in the Venetian?
It's in Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay,
Mandalay Bay at
perfect.
5:30.
Awesome.
Yes, and co-presenting with a customer who actually tried out Redshift serverless, and they were absolutely blown away. And they have an amazing story to tell.
Awesome.
So wait, I think maybe I think you didn't do the demo on purpose so you can get more people to your session. I think
That's a great point. You got it.
Well, anything else before we break to our next segment you want to get off? You want to mention to the viewers?
Is there a place for them to go start?
So you just go to your AWS Management Console, click on Try Redshift Serverless, and it's as simple as that, and go through the motions.
Fantastic. Well, guys, thank you both so much for joining us on AWS On Air. We appreciate you having it. Super excited about what you guys are doing.